Okay. If I is equal to the square root of negative 1, what do you suppose I squared is equal to? I heard some answers out there. 1 is a good guess. Yeah, usually kids guess 1 or negative 1. Well, think about what I'm doing. I'm taking I, square root of negative 1, times another square root of negative 1. When I have square root and a square root, doesn't it just undo itself? So I squared, is just negative 1. What about I to the third? If I raised I, so I had square root of negative 1 times square root of negative 1 times square root of negative 1. That's what?
Just 1. Or 1 and negative 1. Final answer.
Well, isn't it the same thing as taking I squared and multiplying it by I? Yep.
It's negative 1 radical negative 1.
Yeah, so it's negative square root of negative 1. So instead of just calling this square root of negative 1, I can just say negative I. Now, what do you suppose I to the fourth is? So that'd be 4 of these multiplied with each other. Positive 1. Right? Because think about it. Or I squared times I squared. Wouldn't that be I to the fourth? So negative 1 times negative 1, that gets me a positive 1.
What?
Mm-hmm. So, what do you suppose I to the fifth would be?
Positive I.
What'd you say? You're close. It's like, so here's 4 of them multiplied together. So if I multiply it by 1 more of them, don't I just get right back to I? Or square root of negative 1? So they're interchangeable. So are you noticing, well, let me ask you this. I to the 6th. What's that going to be? Nobody knows? Yes, same thing as I squared. So, I to the 7th, did 1 more of them. There's negative I again, I to the 8th, back to 1. So, basically, you're just going to cycle between these 4 options, no matter what power of I, or what power you raise the I to. So, what would I to the 88th power be? Yes, you do. It'd be 1. 1. All multiples of 4 are just going to be 1. So I to the 12th is just 1. I to the 24th is just 1. I to the 444th is 1. All the multiples of 4 are going to get you to 1. You follow? So what would I to the, say, 13th be?
Negative I. Negative 1. 1. I.
Yeah, it just cycles back to I. So I to the 13th, right?
Yeah.
I to the 13th. I to the 12th was right before it. And that was a multiple of 4. So you were here, and then you had to go 1 more click. So you could either say I or the square root of negative 1 because they're the same thing. What about I to the 27th? Without actually doing it out 27 times. That'd be crazy.
Negative I.
Yes. Yes. 27. Think about it. 28 is a multiple of 4. So 27 is 1 before it. No, because like 7's not a multiple.
No, like multiples of 3. Oh, wait.
No, because it's every, yeah, it's weird. Because there's 4 in the group, so multiples of 4 is really how you want to hold on to it. And then just adjust. Well, let's go back. Does this make sense? How we got these first four?
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Hopefully the first one makes sense because that's really a definition that we're setting. We're just saying I is equal to the square root of -1. Okay? We're setting that. Just like, I don't know, in physics, they set acceleration due to gravity, right? They just gave it a variable. Isn't it g? 9.8 meters per second squared? Right? So you just take a letter to assign it. Like the speed of light is just the variable c. They just use c in place of that number. Same idea. So I'm just taking the square root of -1 and I'm assigning it the letter I. Okay? So if I have established that, if I square it, we got here, right? Because the square root of -1 times square root of -1, I undo the square root part. So I'm just left with what's on the inside. Times it by one more of these. Well, that's -1 times I is just -I. And then times it by one more, or do I squared times I squared. -1 times -1 gets me the +1. So now, when you have these first four, and then you see that the next four just cycle through, obviously the next four is just going to keep cycling through. So, what is easiest to do when I ask for, oh, I don't know, I to the 37th power? You're not going to do this out 37 times. You're going to think, what's a multiple of 4 that's closest to 37? 36. 36 would be 1. So 37 is going to be one click past that. I'm back to I. When I ask you for I to the, I don't know, 90th. Is 90 a multiple of 4? No, but give me a multiple of 4 close to 90. 88. 88 would be here. I have to go 2 clicks past it. 88, 89, 90. So that would just be -1. What about I to the, oh, I don't know. Let's keep it smallish. How about 25th? Everybody try it. Don't say anything out loud. Everybody just establish what I to the 25th would be. Mm-hmm. You got it? Tell me. Yeah, just I. 24 would be here, and then one more click past it. Try one more. I to the 39th. Perfect. Because I to the 40th would be a multiple of 4, and I have to go 1 before it. I'm not quite there yet, so -I. Does this make better sense? Well, perhaps if you were paying attention instead of shenanigans. Oh. Well, good thing there's a video for you to look back and refresh your memory at your leisure. Okay. One more thing I want to do before, maybe I'll let you try that on your own. Yeah, I'll let you try it on your own. Huh? Okay, I'll give you one. What if I asked you for like I to the 10th plus I to the 12th? Well, that's pretty easy if you just figure out what I to the 10th would be. I to the 10th would be -1, so I'd do -1 plus, and I to the 12th would be 1. So the answer here would just happen to be 0. Cool. All right.
Why isn't it -I12?
All multiples of 4 are just +1, right? Because you have I times another 1.
Wasn't 12 also a multiple of 3?
You don't want to. You only want to focus on multiples of 4 because there's 4 in my set.
Wait, what about
10. Well, 8 is a multiple of 4, and then I have to go 2 more past it. That's how we arrived at -1.
Oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
that was like
Okay.